I'm Fred Noe, Jim Beam's great-grandson and the master distiller here at Jim Beam. Now, bourbon's a very complex product, but we're going to have a little Bourbon 101 class. You'll see that you can enjoy it even more with more knowledge. There are some rules into making bourbon. They're kind of what we call a standards of identity. Number one, bourbon has to be made in the United States. We have to use a new barrel every time we age the bourbon. Corn has to be the majority grain in bourbon. We cannot add any colors or flavors to bourbon. When it comes off of the still, it cannot be higher than 160 proof. When we put it in the barrel to be aged, it cannot be higher than 125 proof. When we put it in the bottle to be sold, it must be 80 proof or greater. If you deem your product Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, it must be aged in the state of Kentucky for at least 2 years. If you deviate, your product will fall back into the whiskey category. Therefore, all bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey ain't bourbon. What got this started was back in the old days, people were taking used barrels. Some of these barrels had been used to ship fish. They were trying to get that smell out of the barrel, so they would set them on fire inside to get that fish smell out of it. What happened is the natural sugar in that wood came to the charred area. When they put the clear whiskey in these barrels, put it on flatboats, by the time this product reached its destination, it had picked up color, it had picked up unique flavors, and people started calling for that whiskey from Bourbon County. And there's where bourbon got its name. Back in the late 1700s, they were giving away land here in the state of Kentucky to get people to migrate west. Old Jacob Beam moved in here, started growing corn, started making whiskey. The whiskey making became part of our family in the late 1700s. During the dreaded Prohibition, my family had to cease creation of the fine bourbons the family had been making. The day Prohibition was repealed, my great-grandfather Jim Beam got on this property, applied for a license, got this plant up and running in 120 days. Today, I'm the 7th generation of Beams to be involved in this business. I'm the master distiller. I travel the world spreading the gospel about the products we produce right here in Claremont, Kentucky.